Hi, I'm Alex from Wilkinson Cameras. Hot off the press, two new cameras from Canon. The new Canon PowerShot V1, the new Canon EOS R50 V, and that comes with a new RFS 14-30 f4 to 6.3 IS STM PZ, that's power zoom lens, which will be kitted with the R50 V. These are small, video-focused cameras designed with content creators and vloggers in mind, and I'm going to talk about them side by side so that you can choose the right camera for you. If you're a content creator or a vlogger, you know the importance of having the right camera, but we also know that it can be really difficult to understand what to buy. So I'm going to compare these two new options from Canon, the PowerShot V1 and the EOS R50 V, to find out which one is best for you. Now, it's mostly Liv who's in these videos, and it's mostly Liv that has shot all the content for them. So you'll see her in the B-roll, but she's run away to Prague with Fujifilm, so I'm going to give you the full rundown on this new line. Canon is putting video in the spotlight with its V range, which signifies video-first cameras that incorporate features and design elements from their successful EOS R and Cinema EOS series. The V range is a testament to Canon's commitment to video creators, offering a range of features that cater to different needs. These should be simpler to use and to get the results that these types of creators want. So for this video, I'm going to try my very best to simplify some of the tech jargon. This might be a bit difficult though, because I am kind of a tech nerd after all. Canon launched the first V product, the PowerShot V10, in 2023. It was a product designed for simple videos with fast delivery. The new PowerShot V1, part of this V range, is a compact camera, by which we mean it's got a built-in lens, it's relatively small and light, but it is packed full of brilliant video features and ease of use, particularly for people who might be moving up from a smartphone. Then there's the new EOS R50 V, the first camera in the EOS V series, which features a larger sensor and the ability to change lenses, which I'll cover in more detail in a minute. The EOS R50 V is not to be confused with the EOS R50, which doesn't have a V, which already exists. Whilst sharing a lot of the same technology, you'll see that they are very different looking and they are intended for very different users, which will become more obvious as this video goes on. So today I'm going to cover image quality, video capabilities, stabilization, autofocus, audio, ease of use, and most notably, features that make filming content easier. Both products are perfect for someone that's currently using their mobile phone to film content and wants to upgrade to something more specialised in creating content with better image quality and features. However, these cameras serve a slightly different purpose from each other, even though they have similar price points at launch, so let's help you choose. Let's start with interchangeable versus fixed lens. The PowerShot V1 is a compact camera, so it's got a built-in lens, which means that the lens is permanently attached to the camera and you can't change it. This does have a little 3x zoom range to it, which is the equivalent of a 16 to 50mm lens, which is the kind of lens that you'd find on most interchangeable lens cameras that you might be looking at. And if we consider the iPhone Pro Max 15, this has got three lenses, which are the equivalent of 24 to 3 to 35mm. So with the V1, you're getting much more versatility than most phones offer straight out of the box. On the other hand, the EOS R50 V is an interchangeable lens camera, which allows you to swap lenses and experiment with different focal lengths and apertures. So the V1 is ideal for someone who wants compact, lightweight, and a discreet camera with a versatile zoom lens, perfect for travel, vlogging, documenting, making memories. You might want to take stills and video. You want to travel light. You want great onboard sound. You're coming from a phone and you want something that isn't too overwhelming, but can grow with you. If you're considering a Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III, then the V1 might be a better option for you. It is bigger, but it's much more powerful and it still retains that ease of use. The R50 V, with its interchangeable lens system, is more suitable for someone who prioritises video and wants to enhance their creativity and perhaps learn the basics of videography or has more specialist needs, which means they need more specialist lenses. So like a macro lens, for example. For instance, you could start with the new RFS 14-30mm power zoom lens and then upgrade to more advanced lenses as you gain confidence. You're probably looking at the R50 V because you've maxed out the capabilities of a phone or a compact camera like the G7X Mark III, and you want a dedicated tool to help you go further. If you take a lot of stills but also film or start to film videos first and want to dabble into video, then maybe have a look at the Canon EOS R50 over the R50 V, because on the R50 you have an electronic viewfinder, which you don't have on the R50 V. This is going to help you compose for your still shots much more easily, whereas for video you really would only use the vari-angle screen. For design and handling, they're both very compact and lightweight. The V1 weighs in at just 426 grams and the R50 weighs just 370 grams for the body, or 550 grams with that power zoom lens. So where weight's concerned, not much in it. For size, the R50 V is slightly bigger with a lens attached, but it's still very lightweight in comparison to other EOS R cameras or other interchangeable lens cameras. The V1 is at a slight advantage here because the lens condenses into the body, so it's very easy to store and travel when not in use. If you want to get more into videography with the hope of using a gimbal, then the R50 V is a great option because of how small and compact it is. Equally, the new 14-30 power zoom lens would be a great combination on a gimbal. Both of these cameras feel very comfortable in your hand in terms of the grip and general handling. I really love the new look of the R50 V. It's so clean and it kind of says goodbye to that more old-fashioned camera design that we're used to from Canon. No offense, Canon. I also really enjoyed that the R50 V didn't have the same two buttons on as the R50. Which I constantly ended up pressing by mistake, and I know is a major bugbear for a lot of other people. The grip is also slightly deeper on the R50, which again I thought made it really great to use. The PowerShot V1 is less video focused and more of a hybrid camera. It features a stills and movie switch. It's a brilliant design element and one I really enjoy. This switch allows for a seamless transition from stills to video, capturing the same shot in both still life or motion. On the other hand, the R50 V is a video-first camera. It doesn't have a switch to switch between the modes. It is still a capable stills camera, but the stills mode is within the mode dial, which isn't as quick to transition to. Both the PowerShot V1 and the R50 V are equipped with a vari-angle LCD screen on the back, allowing for shooting from all angles, portrait, landscape, low, high, and even for vlogging, of course. The R50 V further enhances user experience with a large record button on the bottom left side of the camera, which makes it easier to use. So if you've got this facing you on a tripod, you can just press the button on the front. Both cameras also feature a tally lamp on the front, so you can see that the camera is recording you easily. Something that I particularly enjoyed on the R50 V is that it has two tripod mounting points, one on the bottom where you expect to find it, but there's also one on the side, which is great for vertical shooting. This is a great idea, and it just means it's so much easier to shoot vertical content. There's minimal faffing or extra equipment needed. Both cameras share the same LPE17 battery, and we found that the battery life was very good. We managed to test both cameras sufficiently before the battery died. Both feature in-camera charging, so if you're recording in a studio or in your bedroom or wherever, you could just plug in the camera and film while it's charging. Equally, if you're out and about, you can charge with a power bank and continue shooting. Sensor size and megapixels is where both cameras differ. Sensor size is important. It determines how much light you can capture and how much depth of field you can achieve. For the type of creators using these cameras, I really don't think you should worry too much about the megapixels. Megapixels are important, but they're not as important as phone manufacturers would have you think. This camera I'm filming on today, 12 megapixels. Can you see every wrinkle and pore and bit of dry skin on my face? Yes. Unfortunately for me, yes. I've put a diagram on the screen which shows the sensor sizes of some phones, the PowerShot G7X Mark III, the new V1 and the EOS R50 V, so that you can see the difference in sensor size between them. Generally speaking, the bigger the sensor, the better the low light performance and the better the image quality, as you're going to capture more colour detail and more dynamic range. Dynamic range is basically the difference between the darkest areas and the lightest areas in a scene. So in harsh lighting conditions with lots of shadow, the more dynamic range, the better. So if you're a Twitch streamer and you're sitting in a dark room setup, but you've got your screens lighting your face, you might want to consider a larger sensor so you can better balance those areas out. The V1 has a 1.4 inch sensor, which for those of you already into cameras is a similar size sensor to Micro Four Thirds. And you can see that it is bigger than the PowerShot G7X Mark III and the PowerShot V10 sensor, and much bigger than a phone. This gives impressive low light performance for a compact camera like this, But the R50V has an APS-C size sensor, so even bigger than the V1, giving you even better image quality and even better low light performance. This larger APS-C sensor and the ability to use different lenses on the R50V also means that you can really play around with depth of field too. So if you wanted the background to be a little bit out of focus, which we call bokeh or bokeh, a bit like behind me here, or like on our product B-roll, depth of field is important. Or if you want to stand out from your background, it creates a more cinematic look. For video, the R50V is without a doubt the most capable of the two in terms of detail and low light performance, but it doesn't mean that the V1's not capable. Both shoot an impressive 4K 30. The R50V video is oversampled from 6K, which results in even more detailed footage. For slow motion, both shoot 4K 60 with a crop, and Full HD 120 for super slow motion. Full HD is absolutely fine for social media, so if you want to include super slow-mo here, both are very capable. Both cameras shoot in C-Log 3, which is a colour profile for video that allows you to shoot in a flat colour profile to maintain the highlights and shadows within your footage. The only caveat with this is that you will need to add the colour back in using a LUT in whatever editing software you plan to use. But this also opens up a world of colour grading if you want to try that out as well. If you just want to shoot the standard colour profiles and share without any major editing, you can do that too. A great feature of the PowerShot V1 is that it features a built-in neutral density filter or ND filter of 3 stops, which reduces the amount of light reaching the sensor quite significantly. This allows you to use slower shutter speeds or shoot at wider apertures such as f2.8 in very bright conditions, which means you can still have lots of bokeh, blurry background, even if it's a very bright day. For videographers, ND filters are an essential accessory, so to have this built in is a really great feature. So the R50V doesn't have a built-in ND filter, you have to put these over your lenses, and you would have to buy these as an additional accessory. For autofocus, both feature Canon's dual pixel CMOS AF2, which means that the autofocus is very, very good. They also have subject and eye detection, although the V1 is limited to humans and animals, where the R50V also has vehicles. On the R50V, you also have the option to choose which eye you want to prioritise for eye detection, and you can also register people to prioritise focus. So when we're out filming these videos, Liv and I will be registered within the camera. We mainly film each other using kit, so in busy environments, the camera will prioritise whichever one of us is in the frame, rather than some stranger who's walked into the shot. This is a great feature, and of course you can register your own face so that you can always be the star of the show, but this is only available on the R50. Something that has really impressed us with both the cameras is the stabilisation in video. Both cameras have digital image stabilisation and enhanced stabilisation, which digitally crops into the frame, but with great results. The PowerShot V1 has subject tracking IS, which is very cool. This basically means that the camera will prioritise the subject in the frame and stabilise the footage accordingly, and this worked very well. So onto audio. And it's really important not to forget about audio, and it's actually great to see so many people using Rode and DJI mics all over social media now. A great video with bad audio is just a waste of time, really. The PowerShot V1 and the EOS R50 V both have built-in microphones that are surprisingly good quality. The V1 has the edge here because it comes with a windshield that slots into the hot shoe and blocks the wind from messing up your audio, and it has really good onboard audio. If you do use the built-in mic, you can manually change the audio levels, wind filter, noise reduction, etc. So you can really fine-tune the audio to your needs and environment. You can also use external microphones with both cameras using either the 3.5mm jack, so for example if you wanted to use a wireless mic like I am today, or you can use a Canon microphone via the multifunction hot shoe on the top of the cameras. For a really serious setup, you can even use the Tascam XLR adapter for the very best audio quality you can get, but I think this is a bit overkill for these two cameras personally. So onto some bonus features, or features that I just couldn't quite fit into other categories. I mentioned the EOS R50 V's secondary tripod mount, which allows you to mount it vertically. Well, when you're shooting video vertically with the R50 V, the screen information also switches to vertical, which means you can see your settings the right way up. This is great for shooting content for social media because 9 times out of 10 you will be filming vertically, and it's incredibly handy to be able to read all of your settings the right way round. Another great feature is product mode, which is available on both cameras, and that's great for content creators, YouTubers, vloggers, reviewers. This is found on the V1 and the R50 V, as I've just said, and is really, really good. And it works really well. Other cameras in the Sony lineup have this, the Nikon Z52 has it, but this was really responsive. If you're into wireless and or wired live streaming, then you can do this on both cameras. You can live stream via USB, HDMI, or wirelessly with the Canon Camera Connect app. Obviously, you know by now that the R50 V is an interchangeable lens camera, and that is going to be paired with the brand new lens, which I've already mentioned, the RFS 14-30 f4 6.3 IS STM PZ. It is a pretty wide angle lens, which means it's perfect for all the uses that this camera is designed for, vlogging in particular. The power zoom is really smooth, so you can legitimately zoom in and out whilst recording without any nasty jerky movements. Zooming in video can look really bad, but this lens does a good job because of that smooth power zoom. The lens only weighs 181 grams as well. It's incredibly small and light. Both the V1 and the R50 V work with the Canon remote tripod grip, which gives you zoom controls and record stop-start options for both cameras. So you can control the lenses in both of them because they both power zoom lenses, even though one is fixed. So that is a pretty heavy overview of both cameras, a lot of information and a lot of comparisons. But let's talk about the price. At launch, both cameras are coming in at around the same price. The PowerShot V1 is launching at $959 or $989 for a vlogging kit, which includes a memory card and a remote tripod grip. For the EOS R50 V body only, it's $729 or $959 with the new power zoom lens. The best value though comes from the creator kit at $999, as this includes everything you need: a camera, lens, memory card, the remote tripod grip, and a microphone. I'm going to use the term affordable quite lightly because I don't really think we can throw that term around when you're looking at spending around £1,000, including memory cards and other accessories. But the features and technologies that are packed into these cameras, I think the prices are justified. And I do think that if you're a serious content creator, that these are tools to do jobs. And if you plan to making a living from this, it is an investment into that. If you're looking for something small, compact and lightweight, but that packs a punch and has features best suited for content creation and vlogging, then this is the camera for you. No messing around with different lenses. You have one camera with one fixed lens and you're good to go. I think this is perfect for someone who wants something easy to use, that's great for stills and video, to step up or leap up from a mobile phone, or even to provide a second, smaller camera for on the go and travel instead of your existing mirrorless camera. So who should buy the Canon EOS R50 V? Well, if you enjoy shooting video and seem to gravitate towards video over stills, you create a lot of vertical content, then the EOS R50 V is the one for you. It's compact, lightweight, and it's packed full of video features, while still giving you the option to expand your creativity, practice, and gain knowledge. It's an interchangeable lens camera, so you can experiment and progress with better quality lenses as you become more experienced. There's so much creativity out there that the industry is constantly learning and adapting to new trends, and the EOS R50 V will grow with you. It's not going to limit you. Personally, both Liv and I enjoyed using the V1 and the R50 V for different reasons. Liv is still getting used to vlogging in public, so she really enjoyed the V1 because it's really discreet but gave really good results. I really like the fact that the V1 has a photo and video switch and the fact that it still caters for stills photographers. It felt like a great travel option for me. We both love the handling of the EOS R50 for video and especially for vertical video. But what do you think? Which one will you be choosing? If you're in the UK, head to wilkinson.co.uk to place an order or to find your nearest store. We offer part exchange as well. And I hope I've been able to help you explain some of the features in these two new cameras and some of the tech in them. But if you want more information or you've got any questions, our comments are open, so please leave me a comment and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. And please give us a thumbs up and a subscribe. We're still growing and this helps massively. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you really soon.